Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, we're going to be comparing the JB700 versus the brand new JB700W that's going to be introduced into Grand Theft Auto Online very soon. So when Rockstar added this vehicle in the Diamond Casino Heist update, I became very intrigued because it sounded like the update to the JB700 that we've wanted all along. And at first, I thought it was going to be very similar to the single-player version of the JB700 that's actually featured in two missions during the campaign, a mission called Deep Inside and then a mission called Pac-Man. And this JB700, which is based off of a vintage Aston Martin, was primarily famous for being the James Bond vehicle. And just like in James Bond, this car was filled with gizmos and gadgets. So not only did the car have working shotguns on the front, it also had spike mines that you could drop out of the back, and it also had an ejector seat where you could launch the passenger out of the side. That was so cool. And when Rockstar had this vehicle in online, I was like, I wonder if they're going to keep all of the same features. Well, it turns out that when this vehicle eventually made its way into Grand Theft Auto Online, it was rather disappointing. Because in online, it can be purchased from the Legendary Motorsports site for $350,000, which is $125,000 less than it was for in single player. And the reason Rockstar made it so cheap was probably because it's been available from online in day one, where cars were a lot cheaper. And number two, this vehicle pretty much has nothing. You can't get rid of the machine guns on the front. It only has 12 customization options in the LSC, where pretty much the only thing you can do is change the paint job. And you can't even use the guns that are on the front of the car, which basically removed your ability to make it look like a stock Aston Martin DB5, which is what this vehicle is primarily based off of. So alas, I had hope when Rockstar added this vehicle in the Diamond Casino Heist. I thought this is either going to be a really cool version of the single-player car, or it's going to be a neat stock option with lots of customization. Well, unfortunately, it looks like it is neither of those options. But I want to show them to you guys anyways. This is the comparison of the cars, and you guys can see that other than the machine guns, this vehicle is exactly the same. The exterior, the interior, the shape, size, everything about the vehicle is exactly the same. The only thing different that you'll notice by default is that the machine guns have been removed, but you can still see like the little slot in which they would like pop out from. And we'll discover how that works in a little bit. So let's actually bring this vehicle into the Los Santos custom shop. And again, unfortunately, not so great as far as customization goes. Instead of 12 options, you have 14. Again, not all that exciting. Probably the most exciting thing that you can do is upgrade the weapons on this vehicle. It actually has two secondary weapons, which you can actually modify, and that would be spikes and the slicky stuff. So the spike and the slick stuff that you can throw out the back, those are the exact same things that were added in the Arena War update. So this is not exclusive for this vehicle here. These are basically just effects that were added on some of the Arena War cars, now on the JB700. So you do have an alternative weapon there. And the only other interesting thing you can do is actually add the stock mounted machine guns if you want. And adding them makes it look exactly like the original JB700. So again, not all that much that you can do here. I'm actually a little bit disappointed in that. So let's bring this vehicle outside of the LSC now. And the first thing I wanted to test out was obviously the machine guns. So the machine guns are fired like normal. They are a big pea shooter, by the way. These machine guns have been added on many other vehicles in the past. They are not all that powerful. They're not great at killing players. They're really not great at killing vehicles. So definitely do not think that this vehicle is going to be overpowered, because it's not. Those machine guns are not all that great at all. Now, for whatever reason, I could not figure out how to drop the slick mines or the spike mines. I guess it's because I'm in single player and the car has to be in multiplayer in order to launch that sort of stuff. Basically, the spike mines, exactly as it sounds, you drop these little spikes on the ground, and if you run them over, you lose your tires if they are not bulletproof. If you have bulletproof tires, you have nothing to worry about. Running over those spike mines will do nothing. And the slick mine is exactly as it sounds, kind of like an oil slick. If you run over that, your car will end up spinning out and you will ultimately lose control. So the mines aren't all that great, and they're just sort of a secondary add-on to this car. So nothing to get overly excited about. A couple of other things I wanted to check in on with this vehicle. How did the doors open, and was there any new interiors like in the engine block? I think it looks exactly the same. You can obviously open up the passenger and driver side, the trunk, and the hood, but nothing all that incredibly different here. The headlights are exactly the same on the JB700. You've got a giant bright bulb for the regular lights and then just brighter with the brights. And again, other than that, it's pretty much exactly the same. So now the big question, how much does this cost, and is it actually worth it? So here's where I think I'm going to lose a lot of people. This is incredibly expensive, and I don't think it's worth it at all. So this JB700W is $1,470,000. That means that it's over $1 million expensive than the original JB700, the one that's been in the game and in online since day one. That is wild, and I don't know if it's going to make it worth it to end up getting this vehicle. So let's talk about the reasons why you would get this vehicle and the reasons why you would not get this vehicle. So let's start with the downsides first. The downsides, it's expensive. $1.47 million for a vehicle that was once available basically for $350,000. That seems kind of steep. The spike and slick mines are just reused from the Arena War update. That's not really all that interesting. Same with the weak machine guns. Those are put on almost every other weaponized vehicle in the game, which means this car is just going to get destroyed by everything if you try and fight people with it. And it's hidden in the drip feed. We don't know when it's going to be released. It is currently the next scheduled vehicle to come out on Legendary Motorsports, but who knows when that will be. The only reason I would say that you should buy this vehicle, the JB700, is if you are an Aston Martin enthusiast or you love James Bond and you would like a stock-looking JB700. This JB700W is the only way in which you can remove the machine guns from this car. That's pretty much the only benefit there. And even Rockstar doesn't really do it right, because instead of making it a smooth finish, you've got those ports where the machine guns would be. And getting back to the machine guns, it's even a little bit disappointing that there's no option for them to like pop out of the car. That would have been cool. Instead, Rockstar just sort of like copy and pasted what they did from the vehicle when it was released earlier. So those are legitimately like the only two reasons which you should get this vehicle. If you're an Aston Martin enthusiast, James Bond enthusiast, you buy every vehicle because you have millions of billions of dollars, so you do not care. Or you just want to make a stock-looking JB700. That's literally the only reason. Other than that, you should not buy this car. I'll keep you guys updated on when it is actually released. I almost wish Rockstar did like a fun either game mode or adversary mode with it, because I just see no reason to buy it. And honestly, I don't think you guys should as well. And it's kind of a shame that we waited pretty much 6 years for this to arrive, and it's pretty disappointing. I try to stay positive with most things that Rockstar does, but this vehicle, there isn't really much to say positive about. Honestly, I wish there were so many things that Rockstar did here. I would have loved for it to have more customization options. It would have been cool if they revamped the interior. It would have been nice to see like the mounted machine guns have an actual animation and not just be like an add-on. It would have also been great if they added some cool things from the single player, the ejector seat. Like, imagine how fun it would be to pick up a random NPC and then in the middle of you driving, you just eject them out and send them flying into the sky. It'd be a total troll move, but it would be hysterically fun. So it just seems like Rockstar missed a golden opportunity here to do something incredibly fun with this vehicle. But anyways, that's all the information that I've got for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. What do you personally think about the new JB700 versus the original? Do you think it's worth it? Do you think it's not worth it? Will you get it if it ever goes on sale just because? Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Diamond Casino Heist videos that I'm going to be doing here on my channel over the next couple of days and weeks. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.